Hey everyone, welcome back to the vlog. Just taking a walk this morning along the towpath. Along the beautiful Ashby Canal. It's an absolutely stunning day again. Who was that who said that winter is cold and dark? I don't really see it being very dark. I mean, it does get dark early, but it's not very. You do get days like this. It's absolutely beautiful on the canal. Okay, it might be frozen back up where the boat is, but here it's kind of okay. It's all melted, if it froze at all. The Ashby Canal was actually opened in 1802. Its main purpose was to carry coal. The original length was 31 miles, and it's the longest contoured canal in England. Over the years, it kind of fell in disrepair and built over and all that kind of stuff, from about the mid 1940s. And in 1845, I think it was bought out by Midland Railways. In fact, this bridge up here is one of the original railway line bridges, which we're going to go over because we're about to go right and into Ambion Wood and along to the Heritage Centre, which I've not been to yet since I've been here. And I've been here almost 2 weeks. It'll be 2 weeks next Sunday. So I have to move my boat at some point because under the terms of my licence agreement, I have to move the boat every 2 weeks in winter. Well, any time really as a continuous cruiser, but when I'm on I'm on a 48-hour mooring, which becomes 2 weeks. So regardless, I've got to move the boat unless it makes it impossible to do so, like the canal being iced over, etc. But like I've done previously, just want to show it to you. It's such a beautiful spot. It's all really beautiful. It's fairly cold this morning. It's about 5 degrees. But I've only been walking for 20 minutes and I'm warm already. I've only got a couple of layers on in my coat. So here's the old disused railway bridge, which is now a footbridge. Right. And we'll continue along a little walk. It's beautiful through here. I did walk through here a little bit, but a bit further, because when I came out originally it started getting dark, so I thought now would be a perfect opportunity to come back. Here's a little four-legged friend. Hello. Good morning. Oh, we have signage. The battle in 1485. I'll just read it to you. The trees in the modern landscape make the lie of the land quite hard to see. The medieval landscape was more or less devoid of trees as a system of open field farming prevailed. This method was widespread and created a rather barren landscape. From this spot in 1485 you'd be able to see Dudlington Windmill and most of Norfolk's army throughout the battle. You'd also be able to hear the roar of the guns and the screams of the dying. Lovely. So yeah, that's a history lesson for today. 1485, wow. Alright. That's quite stunning actually. Just going to share that with you. With the sun piercing through the trees. It's beautiful. Oh, no signpost. Deploying for battle. Commanders of the time usually divided their armies into three parts: the vanguard, the main battle, and the rear guard. The vanguard often led the attack, followed by the main battle, and then finally the rear guard. In other battles, the armies were arrayed in a line, and this was the way we believe Richard's army was assembled. Henry's much smaller army, however, was divided into two parts, seemingly working independent of each other. We don't know how Richard's artillery was deployed. Like the archers, the guns could have been in front or on the flanks of the infantry. Henry had archers, but we do not know if he had artillery, although the extent of the cannonball scatter found in the battlefield suggests he did. Cavalry would have been secured both flanks. History lesson number 2. Right, which way? I might walk through the wood. Ambient wood. Here we go, ambient wood. I think I heard you said it was that way. Let me go that way. I'll come back to that. I was going to try and walk through. You can walk through that way out to Sutton Wharf, but all the deluge of rain we got last week has formed a huge big puddle or pond. So it's impossible to actually walk through. It's a bit of a shame, but anyway, such is life. What on earth is this contraption? do anything? No, it's fixed. Oh, it's a sword. I just realised it's a sword. Crikey, imagine carrying one of those things. So, born to war. At the time of Bosworth, there were around 1,000 knights in England. Knights usually came from the high-born families and were supposed to uphold the code of chivalry. Boys who were destined to become knights would train for war from a very early age. Many men who were rich enough to become knights declined the honour in order to escape the responsibility of the civic and military duties it entailed. These men were known as esquires or gentlemen and could be well trained and equipped for battle as the knights. Sometimes these esquires were knighted after a battle. So you wonder where knighthood came from? Here we go. History lesson number 3. Oh, more mud. There you go, a sword, is it? I know, it's a spear, crikey. Yeah, I don't think it'd last too long if you're hit with one of those. What does it say? Hack and slay. Most 15th century soldiers fought on foot. So I'm just trying to read, apart from the bird shit on the sign. The poorest wore padded jackets and iron helmets, whilst the richest would have a full harness of iron plate armour. The hand weapons wielded by these men were designed to cut, crush and stab the enemy. Sounds wonderful. The main weapon of the many foot soldiers... sorry, I got bird shit all over my finger now. The main weapon of the foot soldiers was a pole arm, such as the warbill or halberd, which when used en masse could repel a cavalry charge. Most soldiers will also carry a sword and dagger for close combat fighting. The only shields used were small round bucklers, so there was little protection from arrows or artillery. Interesting, very interesting. Cut, crush and stab. It sounds like a wonderful way to die. Cut, crush and stab. Oh, and more mud. Mud, mud, glorious mud. Oh, another sign. And a whole bunch of balls. Those look like cannonballs. Fire and brimstone. Both handguns and cannon were used during the Wars of the Roses. Jean Molinet, Burgundian writer, tells us that Henry's mercenaries came under fire from the king's artillery, forcing them to abandon a frontal assault and attack Richard's right flank, a manoeuvre which ultimately contributed to Henry's victory. An important scatter of lead cannonballs has been found in the battlefield survey, and these can be seen in the exhibition centre. Experimental firing has shown us that solid cannonballs could be fired over 1 kilometre. Therefore, a lead cannonball fired from the white fence to your right would easily kill you at this distance, and probably anyone standing behind you. Wonderful. White fence to my right. What white fence? Can't see a white fence. White fence. Right. Okay. There's supposed to be a white fence over there. Oh, I think I see it. That's quite a significant distance when you think about it. What's 1,000 meters? Oh, and another sign. No access to bridge. Okay, well that bridge was for then. What does this say? It's like a bow. Is it? Yeah. Death from afar. Archers were the backbone of the English army from the late 13th century through to the mid 16th century. The low-born English archers destroyed the nobility of France in the early part of the 100 Years' War. But in the Wars of the Roses, the armies were evenly matched as both sides had large numbers of bowmen. A group of archers positioned by the white fence to your right could easily reach you where you are standing now, and their heavy bodkin arrowheads would pierce any form of medieval armour you were wearing. So, see that white fence down there? So from where I'm standing now to that would get pierced by an arrow. Lovely. No access to bridge, unusual. Huh. So I've lost what count we're up to with the history lessons. I've forgotten 5 or 6 or something. Yeah, looks like a heritage centre coming up. So there's the white fence that we were talking about in previous posts, previous signs. I don't know, it's a railway. Ooh. The Battlefield Line, cool. Shackleton Railway, okay, cool. I wonder if it actually is still operating. Let's wipe all the, get rid of all the condensation. Story of my life. Check it out, wow. Pretty cool. What does it say about the Shenton Station? Well, according to that sign, just going to scroll up there. You can actually go for a journey, but so I don't know. Local was telling me that because it's volunteer run or something, it's no longer doesn't work, it doesn't operate anymore, which would be a real shame. But I understand why. I mean, you know, if you don't make the money, you know, I don't know whether it's a steam train or locomotive or what. Anyway. Oh wow, look at this lovely countryside. Oh wow, look at that. How gorgeous. Alright, let's continue. Oh, well, here we go. Thomas Lord Stanley. Thomas Lord Stanley lived in Latham in Lancashire, and amongst his many titles was King of the Isle of Man. He was very powerful, along with his younger brother Sir William, was a force to be reckoned with in northwest England. As Thomas was the steward of the royal household for King Richard, he should have supported the king in battle. However, as he was married to Margaret Beaufort, Henry Tudor's mother, his loyalties were somewhat divided. Thomas declined Richard's request to come to Leicester and sent his son and heir, Lord Strange, yeah, in his place. Richard took the young man as a hostage to ensure Thomas would stay loyal. Another history lesson. Oh wow, stunning views. I'll get up to the top of the hill and I'll stop and I'll pan around to show you. It's gorgeous, it's absolutely gorgeous. Mind you, whole England's gorgeous if you ask me. Good exercise. Boiling now. Yeah, so I could stay cooped up in the boat complaining about the cold or putting more coal on or whatever. But when it's such a gorgeous day like this, oh wow. Oh, another sign coming up. Right, what's this one say? Henry Tudor, Earl of Richmond. There's the view. What a lovely view. Henry was a minor Lancastrian nobleman living in exile in France, where he and his uncle had fled after the Yorkist victory at Tewkesbury in 1471. Through his mother, Margaret Beaufort, he was ninth in the line to the English throne. He had attempted to take the throne in 1483 before Richard was crowned, but this plan failed, leading to the execution of the Duke of Buckingham, formerly Richard's right-hand man. There you go, another history lesson. Oh, here's a little seat. We'll stop and have a drink of water and enjoy the view. Wow, look at that. Just gonna look at that. How beautiful. Wow. Right, back again. What a stunning place. Of course, I wouldn't have been studying in 1485.
Lovely morning.
Lovely.